Hello everybody, how are you doing? Speno here, as you know. Well, it is Monday night and I'm hopefully going to have this out as soon as I've sort of finished it. And I'm cracking open a beer on a Monday night. I wasn't going to crack open a beer tonight because, it's Monday and I'm trying to be good in the week, but I've just hit 1,000 subscribers, so hey, I am gonna it's one of those things that I don't know, for every YouTuber that starts a YouTube channel, it's hitting that 1K, isn't it? For me, it's not hitting the 1K to then know that you can monetize your channel and you can start earning money from it and things like that, because you need 4,000 watch hours a year, something like that. I think I've totted up. If I tot up what I get sort of emailed to me, I don't really go into it looking too much. I think I've hit about 3,200 watch hours or something. So, you know what I mean? I'm not there. It's not going to be a money spin or anything. And I do my day job for the money. I do this for the absolute joy of being in front of the camera. I love being in front of the camera. I'm down here all by myself, but I just feel I'm just with all you lot that are watching, whether it's one person, two people, 1,000 people, every single person that watches this channel and watches the videos means the world to me. And I know from being a supporter of, other YouTube channels, and, the big ones, the main ones, which ones you can go in, when you need to, and ones that I like to sort of watch regularly if I can. Time's always of the essence, isn't it? And so then I've just realised, just going through some of the people that I follow that I like, I've just suddenly realised, and one of them in particular, who was quite new and humble like me, is a Real Ale babbling beer reviews, and I've just thought, oh my word, I've not watched. I was watching every single video that he did, and he's got that sort of similar thing. I've got the hashtag Speno Waffle. He's got the babbling beer reviews. So anyway, what am I drinking? I didn't know what to drink because it's Monday night, and I thought, celebrating 1,000. When I knew I was watching it, and I knew it was probably coming soon because I could see each day a new subscriber, and I thought, whoa, who's going to hit who's going to be the one to hit 1,000? And anyway, so I just thought I'd just crack open. I think I got this from Marks and Spencer's. So Saltaire, is it Saltaire Brewery Unity IPA, authentic. There's a lot of reflection. I don't know where that's coming from, the camera or my lights, but it could be coming from this actually, because I've got another light over here. But anyway, Unity is a 6% IPA. It smells like an English IPA, to be quite honest with you. We talked about this on the Wednesday Waffle. 6%, looks absolutely amazing. So it's going to be a little bit of a waffle. I might even have a couple of beers. Look at that. That looks brilliant. So the reason I wanted to, I thought to myself, there's loads of beers I could have. I've got some big Imperial Stouts. I've got a big Trappist beer, the three rules. I've been Asda again today. I've actually been really enjoying the supermarket beer reviews. What I don't want to do is I don't want to disappoint. I don't want to turn into an everyday review. I've not got the time to do that. As much as I'd love to do it, I've just not got the time to come down here every single night. I've been doing work at the house. I've been really busy all weekend and everything. I tried to get down. I tried to give myself now a few hours on a Sunday night while Mrs. Speno is watching things like Strictly Come Dancing, all that sort of maths, as they call it, all that sort of TV that doesn't really do it for me. Don't get me wrong, I do love the dancing and that, but I can't commit to watch them every day, every week. So I'll come down. So I'm trying to come down here on a Sunday and sit down and catch up with YouTubers, because even today, I'm going to shout out about number 1,000, the subscriber that hit 1K today. But anyway, cheers everybody. This looks really, really nice. A 6% IPA. I'm sure I got it from Marks and Spencer's. An independent brewery, a member of SEBA as well. So I try to do my best to make sure all the beers that come to the Spencer Arms are independent breweries. I do check and I make sure. Cheers everybody. Thank you so much. I've got a little bit more. I've got plenty of waffle to do, so I just want to mention a few things, little storytelling. and you know, bits and bobs like that. I'm smiling. Cheers. Thank you, everybody. And this goes out to the traditional beer drinkers out there, because there's a lot of craft beer runs through this channel, and most of it like in cans. And we talked about the other day, bottle or cans. And you know, I love the bottle conditioned beers, but I really do still. I am a massive fan of good old traditional beers, proper real ales. That's why I mentioned Babbling Beer Reviews, Real Ale Babbling Beer Reviews. He's got, I think, 72 subscribers now. So last time I watched his video, he had about 50. So it creeps. That's how I found it. It creeps really slowly. It takes so much time to get to 200 subscribers, and then it just goes a little bit better, and a little bit further. I suppose for me, I've probably had a lot. I don't even think a lot of the Instagram followers that I'm involved with the Airland audio and Airland radio community actually follow me on Instagram, on YouTube, or subscribe to me, because they see enough of me on Instagram and they just see enough of me in person waffling on. And so they probably don't need to. They don't want to see any more of me. But I thought, what beer can I have? And I thought, you know what? I bought these supermarket beers, and I was attracted to this one as a more traditional, authentic Indian Pale Ale, being probably, like, let's say, more English hops than. I don't even know what hops are in here, but it's tasting very English. There is a good punch. There's a nice sort of like crisp, hoppy punch. Not like the Peculiar IPA that we had the other day. That was from Theakston's. That was very quiet. What sort of English is that? I've said that before. Quite malty. Really, it was nice. But this has got a nice malt balance, but it's also got a punchy IPA hop sort of presence with it. It actually tastes like there could be one of the sea hops in there. But it doesn't say on here. Anyway, it's not actually about reviewing the beer right now. It's about having a beer and also talking about what I'm going to be bringing to the channel, because my friend's a celiac, and we've got one of the beer loving communities, Gnome's Rest, who's also a celiac. And years ago, gluten-free beer was just sparse, weren't it? And then the Blue Boar in Leicester, they did a regular gluten-free beer. I think it's called Rocky. So they regularly have a gluten-free beer on. So if you're in Leicester and you want to go to the Blue Boar, you should get a gluten-free beer there. And then they had Pig Saint from Potbelly Brewery, which is a great beer, gluten-free. And slowly we started, Craig and I, my friend, who I, as a real ale and craft beer drinker, at the time I'm talking about now, probably more real ale, I would drink cider with him because I couldn't bear to order myself a really nice pint. Say, for instance, at Everard's, ordering a really lovely pint of Old Original. If I get this camera the right way around, that's it, yeah. There it is. That's the pump clip on there. Old Original. One of my absolute all-time favourite traditional beers. Not because I'm from a Leicester boy, but it really genuinely is. I have genuinely been drinking that beer all of my drinking life, and it has never changed. It's never lowered its ABV, and I've told them at Everard's, you lower the ABV of that beer and it's ruined. It is the best beer still that I think. I mean, they do loads of craft beer and things now, loads and loads and loads of them, but that is, get a good pint of Old Original. Oh, freaking lovely. And I've had it here on the hand pull, and oh my god, it's absolutely stunning. You can pour it however you want. You can pour it hard, you can really aerate it, you can pour it a little bit flat, and yes, magical. Right, so I'm going off on all sorts of tangents. So yeah, how did the channel start? The channel started because my daughter, I bought the Nitro Surge cap. Oh, it's actually under here, boxed away because it was out and it's clean. I don't want it to get dust in it. So I bought the Nitro Surge cap for Guinness. I love Guinness. Gonna get the Nitro Surge cap, and me being me, I literally read the instructions thoroughly. I look at how it should be done. I researched it, and through researching it, I found the Guinnessers who I followed, interviewed Steve Gilson, who I've now talked to quite a bit, and the head of quality control who invented this, and I seen him demonstrate it. And then I started looking for the reviews on it, and I started thinking, I said, every review I'm doing, I was like, they're doing it wrong. They're touching the nozzle on the side. And my daughter says to me, Dad, why don't you do an instructional video, create a YouTube channel? You've got the Spencer Arms pub. Why don't you just do a YouTube channel and do a review on it and how to do it? And I think it's still to date my biggest watched videos, and I did it, and when I did it, I enjoyed it. I love being behind the camera. Years ago, when I was at school, I went drama school. I was always acting, always playing the fool, always sort of like I wanted to be in the plays, and I was either the lead or the second part. I just love acting and being in front of a camera and playing the fool and making people smile and laugh if I can, and I ended up going to get picked out. I went drama school, and then I got picked out from drama school to do a performance at the Phoenix Theatre at the time in Leicester. Then I got picked out from there to then move on to training to do like with the Haymarket Theatre. But you know what? And I'm not going to say this that it's bad, but we all know that like the peer pressure from them years ago, doing acting or I did gymnastics as well. All that peer pressure and everything else stopped you from doing it. It was like, it weren't something that we did, like guys did, was it? You know, like, you know, you go drama school, I'm not even going to say any of the things that were said or whatever. So it wasn't bullying as such, but it was real sort of like getting a hard time from the lads about doing gymnastics and going drama school. So I gave it up. I mean, my wife says to me that I shouldn't have regrets because I believe in fate. So, but I do regret giving up drama school. So, doing this, getting in front of the camera, demonstrating the Guinness Nitro Surge cap was like me being back where I was. I can just talk, I can ad-lib, I can waffle, I can yabber on, and I can sort of like, you know, hopefully just make people laugh and smile. At some point, I did think about going to like amateur dramatics or something, but I literally don't have the time. And my working week is Monday to Friday is literally taken up by just work, which pays the bills and buys me the beer and things like that. And then at the weekend, I'm just busy. And I literally come down here and it's like a relief. It's like I'm not under any stress. I don't feel any pressure. I feel really good. I feel happy. I'm in a good place now. You know, in 2019, I had really sort of like 2000, for a few years, it was a struggle. 2019 was really the pinnacle, and had a hard time and everything else, and went through a lot, lost a lot myself, and I really do find that this is therapy. I got trolled on YouTube. And it was one of those where I always said, you know, oh, why do people rise up to the trolls? Just ignore them. And because they can't troll you and they can't be bullying you and everything if you just ignore them. And I like the Blue Van Man for that. He's like, I watched a live that he did the other day, him and his mate. I think he was a decorator mate. And they were just chatting in the air raid shelter with a couple of beers. Now, Blue Van Man does loads and loads of different reviews, food reviews and things like that. And he's one of those where you can just nip in and just have a look what he's done and look at his videos. And he's really funny and he makes me laugh. But the air raid shelter bit, I thought, oh, there's a live at the air raid shelter sessions or something like that. And I thought, I'll just, a bit like what me and Nick do Wednesday Waffle. I thought, you know what, I'll just nip in there for 10, 15 minutes and just have a watch. It had already been live, so I was watching sort of like the rerun. And I watched the whole thing from start to finish. I don't know how long, it was over an hour long. And do you know what? Two blokes just chatting, a really interesting chat. Go and have a look at it yourself. They talked about talked about old toys and things like the raving bonkers that I had, and they talked about the strike of the football game. I think where you nodded their head or something, they kicked the ball. I remember all them games. It was really interesting. But like I say, to the trolls, it'll be like, don't start giving it all this to me or whatever. You can get lost and everything else is brilliant. But I found myself raising up to the trolls. And I found myself like, having a bit of banter, and then it backfired sort of on me, and I thought, oh my God. And I thought, stuff this, I am not doing YouTube anymore. It just ain't worth it. I don't want to upset, I'm not there to upset people, and I don't understand why. But I just found that this troll was trolling me. I found he commented on every single video, and it was very sort of like trolly. And anyway, I decided to stop it. Well, I got so much support, say, please don't stop it, Speno. Please don't stop it. And you know what? As soon as I stopped it, I had this almost like, but I like it. It's a bit of release. It's a bit of therapy. And yeah, and I got overwhelming support. So I came back and did it. About a day later, I think it was. So, yeah, I just want to shout out to, Real Ale Babbling Beer Reviews. Let me give him a shout out. Go and look at him. He does all traditional beers, hand pulls, beer, bag in the box beers, all things like that. Very traditional beer guy. Knows his stuff. Whatever he waffles on, well, he babbles on like I do. Lovely bloke. Would like to probably. Now I can go live on YouTube, but I think apparently I could have gone live at 9:90, but because I did look into it, when can I go live? And I said, can I go live at 9:90? And it was like, yeah. I thought, wow, I don't think it is unless it's changed. But it's not that I'm gonna be doing like regular live videos and spending like 5 hours down here drinking and doing live videos. It's just the case we do the Wednesday Waffle, and I'd love to bring Wednesday Waffle to YouTube. A lot of the Instagram followers who follow Wednesday Waffle and who tune in and said it'd be brilliant because they can cast it to their TV. So anyway, I've got to find out what to do, but I am going to be doing my first live with the 1,000th subscriber, so I'll talk about him in a minute. But anyway, so Real Ale Babbling Beer Reviews, go over and give him a like, give him a follow, a subscribe. I was a big follower of Mark, Craft Beer Hub, and I really liked what he did with Crumbly Beer. They did lots of lives, and there's three of them as well at one point. Crikey, I do apologise, I can't remember the third one. Yeah, they did lots of lives, really interesting. And then when Mark hit 1,000 subscribers, it wasn't long afterwards that he decided to give up the YouTube channel. I think because, just personal reasons. He's got family, I've not got a young family. I've got my grandson, but it's just me and my wife. So, she gets rid of me for half hour down here. It's all good. But yeah, I really like Mark Craft Beer Channel. So I thought, I don't want to get to 1,000 and be all excited about it and then suddenly feel this compulsion to be on here all the time. Because it can take over a little bit. But I've done more videos than I have done for ages. Been coming daily, and this one is coming at midnight tonight. So this one for the Patrons Project, I've reviewed that, and it's scheduled to come Tuesday morning at midnight. So I'll probably be on there after this video going, I'm nearly at 1,000 subscribers. So I've got 80 Beers 2 Men on YouTube who we've met personally, and we managed to meet them on one of the meetups. Lovely guys, big support, really is. Then I've got other beer reviewers that I've got like we've got the English Beer Gentleman. I like following him around and on Instagram as well. Rate My Beer, Paul and Michelle. I've not really watched any of their videos recently, but I know that they're there. And every now and then I think to myself, I'll just nip in and I'll have a Rate My Beer evening, if you know what I mean, and watch 2 or 3 videos. So yeah, there's certain people like Rate My Beer, Simon Real Ale Craft Beer, I think Paul's Beer Reviews. You got Scott Reviews Things, I think. Beer Monster, Adam, there. We've actually personally chatted and talked, and I've been on one of his lives. and that. But like, if I stayed on them bars, God knows how much I'd drink and what I'd say. So they're the sort of the ones like Rate My Beer, Real Ale Craft Beer, Beer Monster. You can go in and Paul's beer reviews. Raggy's, well, I've wrote him down, Raggy's beer reviews. There's lots of real core beer reviewers that review a lot, and they're brilliant for going in and, you know, a latest beer, you can tag it and you'll probably find that they've had it. Brew a Bit Rick Shaw, what a lad. I love him. He mentioned me the other day on one of his videos, and he was on about getting me up to 1,000. I just love how his enthusiasm is, a little bit like mine. He's probably even more enthusiastic. And what I'm loving as well is he's a home brewer, but I'm loving the fact that he's doing beer reviews as well. And it's brilliant to see somebody brews beer do a beer review. But then Wheatlow Brewery, Richard, who's become a really good friend. We chat a lot on WhatsApp, mostly, and Instagram and things or whatever. And I've been over and seen him, and I'm going to go over and see him again soon. Hopefully, I can make it happen. I've sent him a date where I can go, but I might not have the car. So it's all one of those. If it happens, it happens. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go over, get a hotel room, spend the evening there, drink some of his fine beer, and then go to bed in a hotel room and then come home the next day, basically. But yeah, he's been a great support and a real education to me about beer. And his Oktoberfest, his Oktoberfest behind the scenes video has got to be one of the greatest things to watch for me. If you want to go and watch a video about somebody who's so humble, who puts so much hard work into making people smile. Honestly, I just want to say a big cheers to Richard for that. What a lovely, kind, brilliant man. And I've met him obviously in person, spent a whole evening with him, and his kindness and his personality and his humour and everything is absolutely fantastic. So, like I say, through doing this YouTube channel, I can't believe where my journey's gone. The Spencer Arms was meant to be a pub shed, a man cave. It originally like man caves, isn't it? Meant to be a man cave. Mrs. Speno had a dream. I had a dream. I've always wanted a man cave. And Mrs. Speno had her dream, which I won't sort of say too much because it may sound like I'm being like a bit like, oh, crikey, well, yeah, okay. It was a holiday that she wanted to go on, and we made it happen through hard work, gritting teeth, and sweat, blood, and tears. And the same with this, you know, we made this happen. So we fulfilled the dream. And I know I'm literally going off on all sorts of tangents here. In fact, I'm going to grab another beer. Thanks for sticking with me. Right, so back with another bottled beer. Hobson's Brewery Co. Another independent beer brewery, another member of SEBA. And this is a crisp golden ale. I've got a 4.5%. I've got to say that I really enjoyed that. And the reason I really enjoyed that is because I always talk about on this channel about the finish of a beer. And since I paused the video and then just come back instantly to grab another beer, I thought to myself, I'm using the same glass, to be honest with you, because I'm just having a little bit of a couple of beers. And I can always buy these again to talk about them. This is what I do like. As someone told me years ago, use the same glass all night, because one beer adds to the other. And then as I've sort of like gone through my beer reviewing sort of like stage, I've thought to myself, yeah, you know what, if you're on a beer festival, you get your beer festival glass, but then we used to have troughs with the water, and I always used to swill my glass out in the water and then have a drink of water as well, swill it out. But then people would say, no, leave the remnants of your last beer in there. It's a matter of opinion. What do you think? Put it in the comments. If you put things in the comments, I know you've stuck around or you've fast forwarded and got to this bit. But me personally, normally speaking, I do like a fresh, clean glass, or at least a good rising carbonation there. Nice, slow rising carbonation. I like a fresh glass, or to save washing, use the same glass that you've just had, but give it a real good rinse out. Right, so this is lovely. Oh yeah, I was just saying about that. The finish on that all of a sudden left me like a bit of a dark, like a marmalade-y, that orange marmalade that I've spoke to about before. Right, crisp golden ale, 4.5%. So a nice golden ale, a beer with a big voice. Cheers, everybody. Oh, that's nice. Now, coming from there, oh my God, that's got coming from there to there, two completely different sort of beers. But you know what? This is the thing. When you're reviewing a beer, it's no good me reviewing that beer straight after this, because this has helped to influence some taste, but sometimes I do, because that's the way we drink beer. You know, if we're out at a beer festival, you're not going to drink a beer and go, oh, that's beautiful. I'm just going to wait till tomorrow till I drink the next one, because I don't want that to taint this one. You're going to be having a crisp, you're going to be having a hot dog or a hog roast or something. So sometimes you need to have these beers in that sort of way, you know, and after a couple of sips, your mouth's adapted to the new beer. And I've got to say, I like that. That's got a very nice bready malt. That's probably even like hit me a bit more than that, because that was really good. Whenever you see that IPA, Indian Pale Ale, you always have this placebo. It's got to be really massively hopped, and with just the balance to calm the hops. But you're thinking about American IPAs, I think that's very English. But this has got a lovely malty taste. A lovely, and the golden ale side of things, it is a golden ale, isn't it? Yeah, it's got a lovely bready, real bready, sort of dry crackery type of bready, which I like, bit toasty, a little bit like toasted bread. Anyway, you're going to have to forgive me for this big waffle. And also you're going to have to forgive me if I don't mention you. But yes, going through, and I'm changing the subject like that. But yeah, going from that first video and seeing just how popular that video was. And I thought to myself, it's not a popular video because I'm a popular person on YouTube. It's a popular video because it's the Guinness Nitro Surge cap that's just come out and everybody's using it. That's what makes it popular. I can find that if I want a high viewed video, if that's where I'm at, I knew that when I got the Audi beer dispenser, and that came out for Father's Day, I know if I review that, it's going to get lots of reviews, because we're all searching for it, aren't we? I'm not going to review, say this for instance here in the fridge, right? So this is a beer that's coming to the channel soon, and this is not your everyday beer that you're just going to pop down the supermarket and buy. This is a 10% tipper from Dea, right? And it's called Steady Rolling Strata. This is as much as the ABV. This was a £10 can of beer. Now, is it because I can afford it? Working my normal hours, I could never afford that level of beer. I just couldn't. If I was working my normal 37 hours, normal full-time job, I couldn't do it. I do 13, 15 hours a week overtime. I don't get, it's not like I get paid, I'm self-employed, I just get a flat rate. But I do, on average, 60 hours a month or more overtime. And it's over an extra week's work in the month, isn't it? And if I didn't do that, then there's no way I would be able to do what I do. It's just the way I do things. You know, you've got to go out there and the way I want to do it, go out and grab it. But anyway, yes. So the Guinness video, and then it's gone from there to me really being sort of like really into me Guinness and getting the glasses clean, trying to get that full lace in. I'm even thinking now of saving up and buying the micro draft Guinness here. Have you seen that? I had a pint of that at Montfort Hall in Leicester. The can goes in the micro draft. It goes, presses it down. The can's got like a little spout on the top. Pacific cans for the machine. and it pours it itself. Now, even in a plastic glass, it poured itself, and then the bar staff, it has a timer for the settle, and then it tells them when they can do it, and then they do the last pour. Unfortunately, being at a venue, they leave it a little bit short, don't they, because of that spillage thing and everything else. But I tell you something, I've got to tell you, even on a plastic glass, the quality of that Guinness was as fresh as you could get. I actually got chocolate notes in that particular Guinness that I haven't really noticed that strong before. So I'm thinking, it's a big purchase, it's a lot of money. But I'd love to have one sat here on the bar and bring it to you guys. So people to mention, let me just run through all the people that I subscribe to and I like to follow. So I've said Real Ale Babbling Beer, Scott's Beer Reviews, Raggy's Beer Reviews, Mark at the Craft Beer Hub, no longer doing his YouTube channel. I'm sure he's very much with us. Paul Beer Reviews, Simon Real Ale Craft Beer. I've chatted to him, but not really too much about his beers, but about his building work. I was really concerned when he'd done his building work, that what he was doing, I was like, oh my God, as a builder, I've been in there all my life. And I know he's a carpenter or whatever, but some of the things he was doing. But what a guy, what a legend. You know, and like I say, I could see this and think to myself, I'll type this in, see what he, and odds on he's at it. Beer Monster, Adam. I mean, that guy, if you want serious beer reviews and you want someone who is so knowledgeable about every beer that he drinks, every style or whatever, but then on the flip side, he turns into an absolute nutter. He's got 4 characters, I think, and he's absolutely bloody crazy. If you stumbled on him in that situation, you probably think he's the most nuttiest bloke in the world. But then for a solid beer review, yeah, he's awesome. Brew a Bit Rick, already mentioned Rick. Fantastic. The Crumbly Beard, Tom, what a legend. Chatted to him a lot. We've talked many a times about doing a live together. And do you know what? The reason I've not done it is because I sort of feel like, oh my God, I used to watch him and Mark and their knowledge is unbelievable. It's like me, I'm a musician and I love music and I play music. I play the piano, the guitar, I can play the drums, I sing, I write music, and I've been a musician like sort of all my life. I'm not saying that like I've been it all my life, so I'm great at it, but I feel I'm fairly good. I did a lot for Shedfest. I opened Shedfest for Airline Radio. I did quite what I feel was a very proud musical piece, and that. But I also, if you ask me about a band, like when I done this AC/DC beer the other day, you asked me about AC/DC, I'm like, yeah, they do great music. And they were formed in '73. They're an Australian band. Is it Malcolm and Angus Young? That's it. I can't tell you about the history. Someone says to me, for a musician, Speno, you know very little about music, but I know that the music's good. So my knowledge of beer, I think, is pretty good. But I was worried, like, oh my God, if I start talking about the history of breweries and things, I'm just going to look a fool. So I've been a bit like scared. But then Crumbly will say to me, like, no, man, no, just, yeah. So we might make that happen. Slurpy Dave, whoa, what a guy, Dave, brilliant support. It takes me a while to catch up on his videos because the reason being is he doesn't put videos out like loads and then he'll have a break and then he'll come back and he'll put them out. So probably put once a week or once every 2 weeks or whatever, but they're really good and they really need your full attention. And I like to really sit and have my full attention when I'm watching Slurpy Dave because he is a real ale guy as well. He knows his history about beer. He knows his history about pubs and things. Fantastic channel, fantastic guy. Big support for me as well. He literally watches every video that I put out. He might get bored at 33 minutes now. Literally watches every single one, comments on every single one. And I tell you what I like about his comments as well. They won't always be like, oh, Speno, fantastic, brilliant. He'll be like, oh, nah, don't really like that, or can't drink that, or whatever. It's honest comments. I love that. So big shout out to him. I've mentioned Blue Van Man, massive channel, but really love the air raid shelter thing. My main man, Beer Bites and Beats, he's on Instagram. He's not got a YouTube page, but check him out on Instagram. My main Waffle man. We'll be doing a YouTube live, me and him, Wednesday Waffle. I think, I'm quoting it now, 10th of December. But what I want to say is I've got to find out how to do this whole countdown thing, and I've got to look into doing the live. And I am coming to who I'm doing the live with for the 1,000th subscriber. Well, I'm sort of just making you wait, but you ain't got it. You can just fast forward. So huge shout out to Jimbo and all the team at Airland Radio and Airland Audio and all the community, the beer loving and pub share community that I've discovered. Such a journey since we built this bar. Massive journey. I'm now a contributor to the radio station. I actually do Pause for Thought, which is like pause as in pause the beer. Because the thing that the radio station has got everything. Friday night on Airland Radio is immense. It's absolutely fantastic. The Northern Soul Show that's just started now at 9 o'clock. Is it 9 till 10? Oh my God. As long as you can get through me waffling on, because obviously it's Airland Radio, so it does break for the beer reviews, the community that do the beer reviews and do the little slots and things. So, it's all about that. But oh my God, Friday night and Saturday night, and Sunday night, there's country. Just check out Airland Radio. You won't like hate me for it. So I'm now a contributor to Airland Radio. They do Shedfest every year. Really look into that because the Shedfest is fantastic. I've got to write a piece for the opening for next year. I'm going to collab with someone on that. But yeah, the podcast is fantastic. Mostly every Friday. Jimbo contacted me here. Well, it wasn't Jimbo. It was Dave Hardy from the Hardy Arms contacted me here. Asked me to be part of, as feature as a new bar, because they do new pub sheds and they feature them on the podcast. And it's just gone from there. It's gone to meetups all over the country. I've been Wales. I've been Portsmouth end, Sheffield, everywhere. Anyway, Wheatlow Brewery, I've mentioned Wheatlow Brewery, Richard, absolutely, what an absolute legendary place. He smashed through 1,000 and he's just going to keep going and going and going. I'll tell you what, it won't be long before he's into thousands and thousands of subscribers. The most humblest guy in the world, does it all for the love. Like with me, I do this for the love. The one thing that's not even really made me excited about passing 1,000 is thinking like, oh, I could probably make a penny or two from YouTube if I start getting the watch hours. It ain't about that. It's about just this tonight, just doing this and chatting I can't mention this guy because he's coming at the end. So obviously Rate My Beer with Paul and Michelle. They even did the can for me when I did Castmaster. English Beer Gentleman. That's it, I think. So yeah, it's not it for the video. I'm still going to waffle on a bit, but I think I've mentioned everybody. If I've the Scott's beer reviews or Scott reviews things, but Paul's beer reviews, he's a great guy, and I like reviewers that have a similar taste to me, so I can sort of like. I can do a beer and then I'll go and see what I think. I'll search it and see what others think of it. And it's nice to hear their opinions, And sometimes I'll go like, oh, you beauty. I never got that. And then I'll remember the beer and think, God, yeah, I never got that, but they got it. Another thing that I just remembered, I'm going all the way back. Gluten-free beer, right? So, drinking cider with my friend Craig, and then now there's loads of gluten-free beer. So we had a gluten-free. Well, every time we go round to their house or they come to us, I always try to get in gluten-free beer. So we went over Harbour stores, got shed loads of gluten-free beer, mostly from Arbor. Arbor are fantastic. Oh, I've not got them in the fridge. Actually, it's cold in here, and I've not got any heating on. No, it's not down here. I must have put. I know where I put them. Sorry, I put them up the fridge up the top. But Arbor had about six beers that were gluten free. I did a little bit of a. I think I did a little bit of a video on here. Did I, or did it on Instagram? Anyway, but then today, going in Asda today, we've seen these Roosters. Now I've not checked out whether Roosters is a independent brewery or not. 1 second. So checked it out now. Roosters I've heard of, and I'm sure if I look on Instagram I'll probably follow them. But I weren't 100% sure. But they are an independent brewery and member of the SI. BA as well, independent and SIBA member. So now this was in Asda. Now the first thing that struck, well, my wife was, she said, look at the can arts on them. She said, you've not had these before, have you? And now that says there 100% Citra, right? Oh, now these have sort of been in the fridge, but not that long. But I'm tempted to crack this open. It feels cold. It feels cool enough to have. Roosters Baby-Faced Assassin. Is that like a bit of a, like, there's another beer that uses something assassin. Fantastic can art, modern classic. This is 6.1% as well on the 4 for 3 in Asda. 100% Citra, golden tropical resinous. But there's the big thing. Gluten-free. On the rock, on the floor. Look at that. I actually think that is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to crack this open. I'm going to put it in a fresh glass as well. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put it just in the freezer here. Now, it's not a very good freezer. It's like just a little one of them, the doors that open. Just checking the time, or 9 o'clock. I've got to make sure that, like, I don't have too many. Yeah, so I just want it a little bit cooler than what it is. It feels all right. This is the other one from Roosters. Look at the can art. It's absolutely. And tell you what, on the can label feel, is it actually a label? Oh no! Do you know what? It feels like a label. I recognise the brewery logo now. Oh crikey! Of course. Trying to think what beer I've had from them. It feels like a peelable label, but it's like an embossed sort of, like, it's all raised. You can feel. That's such a shame that's the sort of can that needs to be. That's artwork, that is. So this one is not to be taken lightly. Gluten-free, another gluten-free, but this time on the bag lot, hazy IPA, 5.7%, and this one's got Citra, Galaxy Mosaic. I mean, honestly, if you're talking about, I didn't even. Do you know what? I've searched for them, but I says to Janie, look, they've got the indie beer thing on there. I said, I like that about a brewery that puts that on. This can art, this is something that branding for breweries needs to look at. This can art's got so much going on, and it's just got all the information on there. All the information that you could possibly need. So where do we go from here? So I just want to thank you all. Honestly, I want to thank every single subscriber, everybody that's subscribed and probably has not even watched a video for the last 6 months. Then suddenly thought, I'll just see what Speno's doing, and then catch up on a few, like I do with my subscribers. My people are subscribed to. And, and I just want to thank the people that comment, the people that like. I love the comments. We're always learning. We're always striving to sort of like just be that little bit more better at picking up flavours and things. But it's so subjective and so independent when it comes to flavours. You know, this is why I think you need to watch Wednesday Waffle if you don't already, and hopefully if I bring it to YouTube, bring it here, it'll get a good viewing as well. But Nick and I both have different taste buds. So he really gets the mango and lime sort of flavours, and I don't get the mango so much. So we can drink a beer together and get different flavours. It's really interesting, but we generally do come together with a similar thing. But what we do is, as beer reviewers, we do the blind beers. So we take the can off the label, we take the can off the label. We take the label off the can, and we do a mystery beer. Now, you think you know the hops well. Like, I think I know Galaxy hop well for its passion fruit, its peach that comes through, and things like that. But sometimes you'll drink these mystery beers and you'll think, I recognise the flavours there and I recognise the hops. But for the life of me, I can't think of the hop. And this is where this comes in. That you've seen me use before, and it's well used. The hop wheel from Mark Dredge. So it's got every. Well, do you know what? There's a lot of hops that are not on here now because they're all new hops and things. But it's got your main ones, you know, Idaho 7, your Galaxy, Simcoe, Citra, Sabro now being a really popular hop. If it's used lightly, it can give you a nice creaminess. But that's what Brewbit Rick said about one of his beers the other day. But if it's used quite generously, you can get that real coconut hit. You know, Vic Secret's another one. You know, you got Eldorado in your Equinox, Mosaic, Montueca, Nelson Sarvin. You know, there's loads of hops out there that you recognise. But when we do the mystery beer, it's really scary because you can drink a beer and you think I could get this completely wrong, but we generally end up somewhere on the right track. If you don't mind, I'll be back in a second. Ooh, so you might see my mic now has got a green light which shows it's connected to the gimbal, and a little it's like a yellow light. So I put a noise cancellation on because I've just put my legs here because I'm waffling on for so long. My legs are just starting to freeze. Like I'm feeling that like old man, like 56 next year, and like I'm feeling like it chilling to the bone. I'm not cold, but you know, you feel that like, whoa. So I just put the fan heater on. So yeah, I'm going to crack that beer open. That town crier, I'm not sure why it's underlined, was really good, really nice. Now I'm pretty sure I got both of these from Marks and Spencer's. Now, if I go out on a night out around friends or whatever, if I'm around Craig's, I'll take craft beer and we'll share them, because you know, 6, 7, 8% beers, you've got to be careful, ain't you? So we'll share them, half a can each. But if I'm going out to a party and I'm taking my cool bag full of beers where they say, you know, bring your own beers and things, like this is the sort of stuff I like. 4.5%, 5% beers, traditional sort of beers and things, or some low ABV pale ales, session IPAs, that sort of thing. I like all that sort of stuff. But these two beers from Marks and Spencer's, from Hobson's and from Saltaire, there you go. Throughout this celebration of 1,000 1K views, there's a little bit of recommendation for you. Right, so I'm going to have one more, waffle on a bit more, and then I'll bid you good night. So if you stuck with me this far, thank you very much. I knew it was going to. I thought I was going to be down here for 10 minutes to say thank you, but it's a big waffle celebration night. Just me, myself, and I, and 1,000 subscribers. Absolutely fantastic. I've not even got to the 1,000 subscriber yet. Oh my word! Right, I'm going to crack this beer open, and I'm going to tell you who was the number 1,000 subscriber, and then me and him, we are going to do a live together. Right, I'll be back in a second. Right then, so moving on. This is almost like, yeah, okay, this is a 50-minute video about celebrating getting to 1K, but it's also been a sort of a 3-in-1. You know what I mean? Instead of watching 3 15-minute videos, you've had to watch a 45 to an hour video of me waffling on, but you're getting 3 beers. So, you know, you're getting value for money, aren't you? Right, so I'm going to use one of these glasses for this beer, and I'm going to tell you about the person that was the number 1,000 subscriber and whom I am going to do a live with. Well, he said, do you want to do a live? So I know this guy, and basically he watches us on Wednesday Waffle, and it is, he is, oh, where I wrote it down. I know it. I know what his name is, but I don't want to say it wrong because I want you to go and follow him. So it's Just a Disco, a beer reviews, and he calls himself Disco. I think it used to be Rasco and Disco. And I discovered them through Ale and Audio when they had them on the podcast, and they're beer reviewers. And so it's really cool because he's just like your Disco, if you know what I mean. Now, he's got a good following on YouTube, and he does live videos and things. And again, he has supported me, and like, I've not jumped in on his videos for ages, and he's just sparked me tonight to think, oh, I must go and catch up and watch some. It's just like YouTube is just like having a load of stuff recorded, and you just got to go and catch up on it. But yeah, he's been involved on Instagram and things with us, and he's very much like there around the podcast, and also like I say, he jumps in on Wednesday Waffle when me and Nick do Wednesday Waffle. So just disco beer reviews on YouTube and on Instagram, and I think he actually came in as disco, like he's independent. I looked and I thought, hey, I don't subscribe to him. What's going on here? But he's came in as disco because he already subscribes as just disco beer reviews, but he's independently now disco as well. And yeah, so he nailed the head. So if you look at the list of your latest subscribers, he is right at the top, and he's the one that got the 1,000. Now, this beer has surprised me, really has surprised me, because it's pouring out of here now. Quite a West Coasty, dark, orangey sort of like. Now, it is a 6.1% American IPA. And it is called Baby-Faced Assassin. Deceptively drinkable. I just can't believe how much is going on with this can. So for a beer that's gone in a supermarket, especially in Asda, it's the effort that's gone into that. I mean, it could be AI. I don't think it doesn't look AI. It looks very drawn, if you know what I mean. You can sort of tell what AI is. Modern classic, gluten-free. Yeah, it's a Death Valley almost type of thing. But I like the 100% hops, 100% Citra. So this is going to be a love-hate beer for me. So it depends what they've done with the Citra hops. Look at the colour on that. That is a definite West Coasty IPA colour. If that is going to taste as good as it looks, then I am hoping for a treat. So we're really into a beer review now. We're really sort of like doing a beer review. And not a lot on the nose, other than a bit of resinous moorishness that is leading to me to think it's going to have that real deep orange marmalade flavour like a West Coaster. I really hope so. I really want to drink this beer, and I really want it to be good, especially being gluten-free, because this really makes me smile. Because the people out there who are wheat intolerant or celiacs, and they love their beer, who don't realise that this is in Asda, and if it's a good one, they can go and drink it, and all of a sudden that whole hard work thing that they have to do as a celiac, because I'm quite a professional now at cooking for a celiac. Me and Janie are quite good at it because we've done it for years. But it's very, very easy to mess it up. Right, cheers everybody. Oh. So, what I am going to say, I've just had a bloody notification come up the side there, and it just like, I thought, God, is there someone coming in? What I am going to say is, oh. Right, I've got to let my taste. That's good. That's all right. That's decent. I just couldn't work out whether I was getting a little bit of a metallic taste, a little bit of a canny taste. It's in a can. You're gonna get. People do say I like bottles rather than cans because you do get a canny taste. But like Speckled Hen, for instance, well, when it was Speckled Hen, before it was 4.5% now. I preferred it in the can than the bottle, which is really surprised me, but I liked how you could aggravate it a little bit more in the can. If you turn the can to the side, so the mouth is like that, it pours smoother. But if you turn it that way, it pours more blub 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 to get that sort of aggravation. That's got a lovely, nice bitterness to it. Really nice, sort of like dark fruit malty taste. It really has got a deep dark. It's almost like it's a trade-off between the hops and the malt. It's really resinous. And it has got that marmalade type of orangey taste, but it's like it's also got a malt taste that is really mixing in together. That's good. I think I need to probably talk about this as a separate, when I've not had a couple more beers to really get this. But I tell you something, considering that's 100% Citra, if that's what that is, 100% Citra, then they have done a blimmin' good job of that, because Citra hop for me is literally like blows my brain if they don't soften it down. And Richard has turned around to me and sort of said, I think he's mentioned about different yeasts and different ways of brewing can soften the Citra hop, which is a very powerful hop. It can be really overpowering. And I keep looking at this, and it says actually here, golden tropical resinous. It's definitely resinous. But I'm keep looking at this thinking, really, 100% Citra hops? This is a Citra beer. And all the Citra flavours are in there. Now I've lost some of that big foamy head. I am actually getting some more of them brighter citrus sort of on the nose. And if you really look deep into this, there is that orange and lemony sort of thing. There's a bit of a tiny little bit of grapefruit bite at the end. There's bitterness coming from elsewhere. So it's almost coming from, the bitterness is almost coming from like the orange sort of like pith rather than that grapefruit bitterness. That is pretty good. I think I'd like to drink it fresh when I've not had a couple of beers and I'm not so overexcited about things, and drink it as a fresh beer to really. So I will go and buy this again. I'll bring this to the channel and I'll talk to you about it properly on a fresh palate. But it certainly tastes like a decent beer. It's got something about it, definitely. It's got a nice malty backbone to it, as we say, but it's also got like almost like a resinous malty hop, resinous malty twang to it. If you no, I don't want to say twang. It's the wrong word. The hops are in there, and do you know what? I'm just belching there, and I can taste more of the Citra from the belch. That's really funny. I'm just trying to think what other beers I've had from Roosters now. Now I've seen that logo, I can't think what other beers. This is where Untapped comes into it, doesn't it? But I don't do that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and anybody else who watches the channel and subscribe, I just want to say a huge thank you. We're coming up to an hour now. I didn't think I'd be down here for an hour doing this. I've got to upload this video before midnight because otherwise it's a pointless waste of time getting it out before tomorrow's beer review that is coming. I've thoroughly enjoyed this YouTube channel. It's had its ups and downs, you know, but to be fair, I'm just humbled for the fact that you guys come to me for some beer advice, if you know what I mean. I thought it was just me that went to people for beer advice. And to know that that there's 1,000 people that have actually pressed that subscribe button because they've watched a video and thought, he's all right. I'm gonna press that button. It's humbling. It's amazing. It's fantastic. It just makes me feel really, really nice. It makes me feel nice. And anything that you'd like me to do, if you could think of anything. Like I say, I've got the perfect draft machine. I've got the pinter. Is it the pinter? There's lots of things like that I could do, but it's just finding the time. I've got a brilliant German video that I've done when me and Jenny went to Germany, and I've done it. It's finished. I've got to just upload it, but I just want to check it over to make sure it's all right. It's a video that's coming to the channel, and it's got music on it and everything, and it's quite, well, for me, because we were the ones on holiday, it's got a lot of emotional attachments around it. And yeah, it's like a part one of probably about 4 parts, but it's just finding the time to do it. But yeah, it's a video with music on, because I've got some unlicensed music that I can use on YouTube now, thanks to Jimbo at Ale and Audio. So anyway, I'm just going to conclude this hour-long video by saying, if you watch this from start to finish, then well done. A big clap for you guys and girls for doing that. Thank you for your support. And yeah, we'll move forward and we'll see what we can find. We'll see what we can find out there in the big bad beer world that's really good. I'm going to bring some more supermarket beers to you, because I know that I've got to really sort of like cater for, everybody really. I've got to cater for somebody watching this channel who thinks, God, you can never find anybody reviewing a 10% tipper that costs 10 quid from your bottle shop, because nobody buys them beers to review them. So I like to be that beer reviewer that if you want to spend £10 on a can of beer, that you could probably come to me and go, whoa, like he spent £10 on a can of beer from Daya, and I've really looked at that and I really wanted that beer, and I trust Speno's like judgment. So now I'm going to go out and make that purchase. So the last thing you want to do is spend £10 on a beer and it be tosh. But I don't think from Daya or any Northern Monk or anything like that, you're going to have that problem. One of the beers I'm really looking forward to bringing to the channel is Kipling from Thornbridge. I've been waiting for that beer to come back for a long time. I'm really excited about that, and I hope it lives up to everything that I've heard about it. But until next time, stay safe, mind what you do, keep smiling. If you have them moments of rah, when things get you down, just think of an acorn. Like, if you're about to kick off with yourself because things are going wrong, just think acorn. Always consider another response now. A little bit of Speno advice there that was given to me. Don't let things get to you. Just keep smiling, and also as well, just remember that beer is good for you. It's liquid bread, and it was a lot better than the water years and years ago. Brewing beer was a way of getting around the bad water. That has been all right, that. Right. Take care, everybody. Much love, as always. Thank you so much. And I'll see you very soon. In fact, tomorrow morning, 12 o'clock, if you're up. Yeah. This is a good beer. Cheers, everybody.